This is the trading review for the 22nd of August, 2022. Is the first day of the week of the second to last week of the month. And I wanted to start doing this right. And I spent a long time focused on these two stocks, Apple and AMD. There was not much to watch, even though the market was changing direction. It's the first time we have a bearish day in a long time in the month actually. We've been running up since the beginning of August or the end of July actually, beginning to the end of the July. We started to run a lot, so we finally started to reverse a little bit, pull back at least. And I had Apple and AMD on my watch, both bearish, but Apple was an outside day, and the R4 level was below the S4 level. So we truly had an outside day that could offer a trend continuation from S4. And I watched Apple closely, and we rejected the S3 level. We gapped up a little bit pre-market, and then rejected the S3 level and just flushed to the downside. Once the first 5 minute candle closed, I saw that we had a lot of stacks down at the bid. You don't see it here, but in the live session, you can see we had stacks down to 168.50, 168. So I was aiming for that, but I made my entry at the break of the 1 minute candle and the 5 minute candle, which is fine. But then we just got stopped out because our stop loss maybe was too ambitious, or entry was too early. Um, Maybe it's my fault for making an entry after such an extended candle. Sometimes I just stay away, but this time I didn't. So it's a bit disappointing. Uh, but yeah, I messed up. It's a good setup. Just my timing was off, and it's an outside day. Was bearish. We opened inside, but we sold off quickly. It did not work. No. Yeah, we didn't make an entry at the break of compression. So it was unfortunate that we got stopped out to the penny here. We pulled back, rejected the 20 moving average, and I made my entry here, but I gave it a little more room. I gave it BWAP, so you can see it's a little bit higher, and still wasn't good enough. Still stopped me out, so it's pretty disappointing. Uh, we actually got very close to 2R, which was the place I wanted to get my first partial, but return with a vengeance and stopped me out. I almost got out at break even because this pullback was strong, but then I decided to accept it. So I think I did good by not uh, getting out the break even. And then after I get stopped out for a second time, the stock returns, and this is on the 5 minutes. This still looks ugly. I will be making an entry in the no, I guess. Yeah, this is the close of the 5 minutes, so it's not necessarily a good entry, but I could have made it and maybe gotten 2R here, but I waited, and then the perfect entry, because it's an outside day, would have been a short here at 1017, the loss of 160 169, or the loss of 169.10 right here, around this area after failing to break the VWAP. That will have been a better option. My mistake here on the day was uh, making an entry so early. uh, I allowed fear to take control, but also Apple was very weak. So I guess I was. It's a combination of I wasn't lucky enough that the trade went nicer, but also I need to recognize that okay, you're making an entry on extension, right? And perhaps the setup it has not. Perhaps it has not been set up yet. And then we had a big buyer at 168.53 that kept pushing the price up. So I should have stayed away after this rejection. But yeah, this entry right here or here could have been good. And we dropped to 168. We pull back actually all the way up to the S4 level. But then we drop again even lower. So my second trade it was okay. I maybe should have waited for this 5 minute candle to close. I will have avoided this stopped out, and maybe will have made my entry here, or just here once again for another attempt. And these two trades are just practice for other things, not the strategy at all. So I don't know why I took them, but I need to keep things tidy. So I'm not gonna count them, but I'm gonna stop practicing things that don't make any sense. So the second trade was still good. Break of the 1 minute after rejection, and break of the 5 minute once again. So nothing to complain about. Just unlucky, I guess. I should not get too frustrated by getting stopped out to the penny when my previous losses have been the result of bad trading. So it's okay that it's sometimes frustrating that you have a loss after doing things right when you have had a run of bad trades, because it makes you feel like your playbook doesn't work. But it's not that. It's just that it just happened that the strategy didn't work this time, and it happened to be at the end of a bad run. So just unfortunate. But we have tomorrow, and if we have as good reading as we did today, we prepare as good as we did today, then tomorrow should be easy. And I just need to focus on the process, and I should be good. I took every trade I saw. There was nothing, absolutely nothing on to trade today. So we just miss our time. We just messed up our timing a little bit. But I already talked about that, so that's gonna be the end of the trading review.